Hello everyone. All right, today we are cooking up chicken with cabbage, potatoes, all sorts of fun stuff. This will all be done in one pan, although it is kind of a big pan. If you take a look here, you don't necessarily need a wok, but this is my wok. I've been heating up some oil. Very, very simple, quick recipe, as most of mine are. I'm gonna sear the chicken breasts a little bit. I'm gonna put my favorite Montreal chicken seasoning on them before I sear them. And I'm doing them whole. I'm not gonna cut them up yet. I'll do that later on. After I get the initial sear, I will pull them out. I'll put them back in there, pull them off for later. I'm gonna chop up my potatoes, red potatoes. Actually, and before I even do that, I'm gonna throw the bacon in, get that slightly cooked. Let me toss the chicken just while I'm talking. See if we can get this going. Henry, you can stay there. I'll bring it right to you. Today I got Mr. Henry helping me out. Thank you very much, my dear. That is one of my babies. When we do the actual cook, when we combine everything together, I'm gonna chop up the lettuce. I'm gonna chop up an apple just for a little bit of sweetness. On the vegetables, I always love this. This is a seasoning which is always funny. It's got a funny name on it, but it's pretty good. It probably can't get it by wherever you are because it's literally in one little shop by me. Some allspice for a bit of the sweetness because this is a little bit on the savory side. Salt, pepper. I'm gonna throw a little bit of chicken broth in as well. And of course, garlic. You gotta have garlic. So hold on one second while I flip these. There we go. Very quick, light sear on them. Just getting both sides. In about 30 seconds or a minute, I'm gonna grab those out, throw the bacon in, and then I will start with the cutting. There we go. So again, look at that. It's already starting to look beautiful and smells fantastic. So bacon, again, I'm not cooking it all the way through right now. I'm literally just throwing it in to get it started so that it's not raw later on. Burnt my hand from the splashback. That's always fun. Thanks again. Lovely, lovely bacon. Everything's gonna cook in this wok. There won't be any cleaning in between, so all of those natural juices will just get sucked in. All right, we're gonna stop our video for a moment, and then once I've chopped all of this up and I'm ready to put it in, I will see you guys momentarily. All right, so the bacon is out. I quickly threw in the potatoes. I'm gonna cook them for probably about 10 minutes or so until they start getting softened up a little bit. And I'll get started on chopping up the cabbage. I'm not going too crazy with seasoning right now because they're basically cooking in bacon grease. There's already a little bit of salt and spices in there. So just a little tiny bit of salt, pepper, tiny bit of garlic powder. I'm going to add the actual garlic in once I get the cabbage in there. All right, so that'll be coming up soon. All right, well, our potatoes have been cooking for about 10 minutes or so. I chopped up a whole bunch of cabbage. It looks like a huge amount, but it will actually reduce down. So let's take a look at how things look over here. Henry, you want to take a look in there? Beautiful potatoes. I'm going to start filling this in. Again, I'll break it up more once it softens a little bit. And I'll get everything mixed together. But for right now, I just want to get the cabbage in there. And again, it looks like I filled this with just cabbage and there's no more room, but we will make some room and it will reduce down. So, honey, let's go back over here. So now, we have our apple, which I'll chop up later. We have our bacon and our chicken breasts. So I will get these cut up off camera. I'll get that cut up off camera, and I will let the cabbage reduce down a little bit, and then start adding everything back in. So let's see what happens in the next 10-15 minutes. So the cabbage has started to go down a little bit. I added the garlic. I really also just wanted to wait with the seasonings because it's a lot easier to mix as it reduces. The potatoes are getting cooked wonderfully. I'm going to put the rest of my spices in, which I'll go with a bit of the allspice. Put some of the sweetness in. A little pepper. Some salt. And I will start with some of my chicken broth. Now mind you, I have not put the chicken or the bacon or anything else in yet. But this is the start of it. So now we've got some liquid in there. We'll let it all cook up. Let this reduce some more, and hopefully we should be ready for the chicken soon. All right, everyone, we're back over here. I did end up adding a little bit of chili powder to this just to offset the sweetness from the allspice. Here is our chicken that's finally going in. I did nice thin chunks because I want it to cook relatively quickly. The bacon will go in a little bit later. Watch yourself, Henry. I'm just going to put this down by you. Don't worry about that. Yeah, so we'll get everything mixed in. It's a very light, subtle, but absolutely delicious flavor so far. So next step is I'm going to chop up the apple. And at the very end, I'm going to toss the apple and the bacon in there, and then we will be good to go. But yeah, it's looking absolutely fantastic. The potatoes are pretty much done, so everything is on schedule for where it needs to be. All right, see you when the apples go in. All right, the chicken has had a little bit more cook time. Now I'm tossing in the apples and also the bacon. We're going to mix that all in. I'm actually going to add a little bit more chicken broth. Not a ton, but just to keep some extra moisture in there. I'm going to mix this together. And then I'll let it do a final cook for about 5 minutes or so. And then we should be pretty much ready to plate up and put it into nice bowls for everyone here. All right, so we'll see you once this is done. And this is what the finished product looks like. All plated up, absolutely delicious and wonderfully easy to make.